Welcome to the Daily Tea on September 20th, 2021. Let's start in Bratislava. Pope Francis continued to rule out marriage for homosexual couples in the Catholic Church. Marriage is a sacrament and the Church does not have the power to change it, the Catholic head of the Church told journalists last week on the return flight from Slovakia. He said it's important to help people of a different gender orientation, but without imposing things on the Church that do not work there. Francis referred to state regulations such as Civil Solidarity Pact in France, which enables a civil partnership. If a homosexual couple wants to live together, there are civil ways in the states to support them, he said. But marriage is marriage, he said. However, that does not mean that you want to condemn people. You have to respect everyone. But please don't force the Church to deny its truth, he said. The Catholic Church is struggling with the issue of homosexuality. In the spring, the ban on blessings for homosexual couples caused a great stir. In Germany, however, some priests had blessed couples against the direction of the Holy See. And now, let's go to London in the United Kingdom. The British pop star Ed Sheeran, in his own words, does not like to take part in American award shows. The room is filled with mutual hostility and hatred, and it's a pretty uncomfortable mood, he said on the Odyssey radio show, The Julia Show. However, this atmosphere does not come from the celebrities themselves, he added. All artists are lovable people, but they are surrounded by an entourage that wants to see them winning everything. Every artist is surrounded by up to 10 people who all throw each other sideways glances, he said. The singer last appeared last week Sunday at the MTV Video Music Awards in New York. After the events, he usually feels pretty sad and has heard that from other artists as well, Sheeran said. He's not used to such an atmosphere from British events. In England, the award show that everyone gets drunk and nobody really cares who wins or loses. You just have a nice evening. Yeah, I like those. I have to go to one. No, I can't. Sheeran performed his new single Shivers at the VMA Awards last week, and with the song Bad Habits, the singer was also nominated for 4 prizes. And now, let's go to Mexico City in Mexico. Mexico's state lottery has raffled a former house of the ex-drug boss Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. In a special draw last week, a few hours before the celebrations for Mexico's Independence Day, the lot number 1438619 won the house in the western city of Culiacan. It was initially unclear whether this lot had been bought. There was a total of 22 prizes to be won, including many properties from criminal groups that had been confiscated. The main prize, however, was a box in the Aztec Stadium with the right of use until 2065. As is customary in Mexico, uniformed children in the capital drew balls from gold-colored drums and called out the numbers on them, as could be seen live on the internet. The 261 square meter house in Culiacan, the cradle of the Sinaloa drug cartel, was one of 7 that were connected by a system of tunnels. In one of them, Guzman escaped through a hatch under the bathtub into the sewer when soldiers tried to arrest him on February 17th in 2014. It was one of several sensational escapes by the head of the cartel at the time, who had escaped from 2 high-security prisons, among other things. The now 64-year-old has been serving a life sentence in the United States for 2 years now. The Mexican government tried several times to auction the house but could not find a buyer. The proceeds of the special raffle from the National Lottery were to the benefit of the Mexican athletes who took part in the Olympic and Paralympic Games in Tokyo that year. And now, let's go to Toronto in Canada. The documentary Jagged, about the life and career of Canadian singer Alanis Morissette, celebrated its world premiere last week at the 46th Toronto International Film Festival. Morissette herself had distanced herself from director Alison Kleiman with a written declaration shortly before the screening of the film. "This is not the story I agreed to tell," she wrote. The documentary tells the creation of Morissette's album Jagged Little Pill, but also looks at the beginning of her career as a teenager. In interviews, the singer tells of her experiences with sexual assault as a minor. "I always told myself I was okay with it, and then I was reminded, hey, you were 15. At 15 you disagree. Now I think, oh yeah, they are all pedophiles. That was rape." And she's right. And now let's go to Los Angeles in the United States. The Canadian rapper and R&B singer Drake has set a chart record. 9 songs from his new album Certified Lover Boy made it into the top 10 of the US single charts last week. This is reported by the US magazine Billboard, which publishes those charts. The previous record was therefore 7 top 10 hits and has so far been achieved 4 times by Michael Jackson's Thriller in 1982, Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA 1984, Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814 in 1989, and Drake's Scorpion in 2018. 5 songs by Certified Lover Boy also made their debut in the top 5. Thus, the Canadian also draws level with the Beatles. The British occupied the first 5 places on the Billboard charts in 1964. No artist had succeeded in this since now. And now let's go to Hamburg in Germany. The ex-Guardian editor-in-chief Alan Rusbridger has spoken out in favor of solutions-oriented climate reporting in the media. With a view to younger people, the media expert said on Wednesday at the Scoop Camp Media Congress in Hamburg that they had probably lost a generation of readers. He could not speak for Germany, but in relation to the English-speaking area, the reporting on climate change had not been good in the past 15 years. Rusbridger described climate change as the most important issue for generations. Young people are very concerned about that. With a view to younger readers, he advocated that the media should offer more positive reporting in terms of solutions and aimed at overcoming the crisis. In his lecture, Rusbridger spoke about the so-called Generation Z and their media consumption. While the previous generation grew up analog, Generation Z grew up with the internet and the associated information overload and constant exchange. In order to be considered authentic and credible by Generation Z, journalists should value transparency, commitment, a culture of error, and independence. The Scoop Camp Congress has existed since 2009. The organizers are the Next Media.Hamburg initiative and the German press agency. This year, the meeting of media and digital experts lasted 2 days. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.